so.
I just told us. I took it to her.
I guess you got me.
You just told us.
I took it to her, whatever.
Do we have a meeting with the attorney?
And he knows, please improve.
Buchanan?
What's that?
Buchanan?
It's nothing outside of the retainer to begin with.
Just asking.
No, we don't mind about it. It's
Okay.
not so far. Are we ready?
Yeah.
It's not
We'll
six-
say for
it's not 6 o'clock.
It
It is 6
is
o'clock.
It says-
6:09. You're a certain
We'll call to order the regular city council meeting for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. I believe Bob James is going to lead us in prayer.
That's correct. Dear Lord, we come to you tonight thankful for allowing us to be here, Lord, and allowing us to work for the city. And Lord, we just ask tonight that you give us the wisdom and the knowledge and the patience and everything else that we need to fulfill this promise, Lord. And Lord, again, we just thank you for today, for the sunshine. We thank you for the city, and we thank you for everybody in it.
Amen.
If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Page roll call.
Rothschild.
Here.
Kennett.
Here.
Swanson.
Here.
Barnhart.
Here.
Roothouse. James.
Here.
Samowski. Arnold.
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. Zach, Chamber of Commerce report.
Thank you and good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. Here's your Geneseo Chamber of Commerce report for April 2024. Real quick, we are wrapping up our membership drive for the year this month. So we're in the 80 percentile right now with renewals. We usually account for about a 90% renewal, 10% drop off as a best practice. We are going to fall within that range. So pretty happy with how that's been going. And we have some new members to welcome to the Geneseo Chamber. We have Tier 1 Gymnastics. We have Martin's phone. Just teasing. Just kidding, man. Tier 1 Gymnastics, the Santa Experience, the Henry County Fair has joined the Geneseo Chamber. So happy to have that partnership going. Wolf Computers and Game Boys, which is a new kind of video game pop culture store, trading game cards. We did a ribbon cutting last Tuesday for them, and it's a really cool store over on North Russell. So go check it out if you are so inclined. A few upcoming events. Tomorrow is Chamber Day in the state of Illinois. So I, along with many chamber professionals from throughout the state, will be converging in Springfield, Illinois to get updates from our legislative leaders, from business leaders throughout the state. And then in the afternoon, I'll be meeting with a few legislators. I'll be meeting with State Representative Ryan Spain, State Senator Win Stoller, and State Senator Neil Anderson, all of whom are within the chamber's area. Part of Kelowna is included in that. I will be reviewing with our legislators some of the chamber's legislative priorities, which haven't changed over the years, but continued preservation efforts of the Hennepin Canal State Parkway, specifically repairing the guard lock located in Rock Falls, because if that fails, the entire canal fails and will drain. So we don't want that to happen. Taking action to bring the Quad City to Chicago high-speed rail to life. I know this has been a 20-year dialogue at this point, but I will make sure I remind them of the time frame and that we are shovel-ready in Geneseo to have a train station here. And then continued rural broadband expansion, right? As technology continues to develop, we want to make sure that broadband is being accessible in some of our rural areas. This is critically important, especially in terms of agriculture and providing jobs throughout Henry County and the Geneseo area. So that's the three things I really kind of go and talk to them about Springfield. Nothing that's a hot button partisan issue. I will also be attending a leadership summit in Peoria with the chamber directors, the IACCE, the Illinois Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. That will be on May 7th in Peoria, but I believe that's before the next city council meeting. We will be scheduling some ribbon cuttings for the two murals that we went up last year. Now, in 2023, we installed plaques for the murals in November, and we decided to wait until the week of Art Walk to do the mural ribbon cuttings, so that way we could help promote the Art Walk event as well. So stay tuned for the invitations. I trust everyone's getting invitations for the many ribbon cuttings I sent out. Sorry, but also I'm not sorry, because ribbon cuttings are a good thing for Geneseo. So you're always invited. And if you're not getting the invites, please let me know, and I will make sure that everyone on the city council is receiving those invitations. Business after hours. We have a business after hours coming up, and that will be on Wednesday, May 1st at Team WTI off of Wolf Road, who will be celebrating 20 years in business. So we're happy to celebrate that milestone with them. The Geneseo Art Walk's coming up on Saturday, April 27th. It'll be here before you know it. So stay tuned for more information about the Geneseo Art Walk. And then planning for the music festival is underway, Father's Day weekend. It's a huge event, bigger and better than ever this year. I can't wait. It's going to be a really good event this year. We have 2 murals planned for 2024. We're still ironing out a few last minute details, but right now the plan is for 2 more murals to go up later this year. Again, you will get all the information as it comes available and is confirmed. A quick marketing update is that right now we have partnered with WQAD to have some Geneseo commercials run on streaming platforms, and then online also on YouTube to have the pre-rolls and everything before you have to watch a 15-second video or whatever. You get to find out why you should shop and dine in Geneseo for 15 seconds. That will run April and May, so this entire month and next month for the WQAD campaign. Again, an effort to get people to Geneseo to shop, dine, play, and stay in Geneseo. It is a little rough out there, you know, especially for retail. So we're doing whatever we can to encourage people to come and support our small business community. And then also we have the tourism magazine that is being produced right now. So we are making that, and the next issue will be available soon. We do distribute 5,000 copies of that publication throughout the state of Illinois at tourism centers. So that project is almost finished. And then, of course, the citywide garage sales are going to be May 2nd through 4th, coming up in just under a month. So that does it for your Chamber of Commerce report. Happy to field any questions from the city council.
I have a real quick comment. It's not really about you so much as the Chamber of Commerce, but I was talking to my father, who was 98, and he was talking about when we went to visit California and went down. Turn your mic on. We went down to Tijuana to get a new interior for his car. And where did he go? He went to the Tijuana Chamber of Commerce. So we're talking somewhere in the 60s, and they gave him a list of places to go. And I said, you know what? I said, I didn't realize the Chamber of Commerce would be in Mexico, or especially, you know, that long ago. But obviously it's been around a long time. And I just found it very interesting that Tijuana has a Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, chambers of commerce exist internationally, and the Geneseo Chamber has been around for 102 years old. We're 102 years old now, and there are chambers who have been around longer than us. So,
Wow. Awesome. Thanks.
Standing on a century of excellence. Anything else?
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you for your
Appreciate it.
continued partnership,
Yep.
City. Appreciate you guys.
Next on the agenda would be the city engineering report. Tyler?
Good evening. So for ongoing construction projects, we're still waiting the DOT review of materials for Northeast Drainage Phase 2. Moving into reports and designs, Oakwood Avenue Water Main, North State Street Services. We completed the survey of that, so now we can proceed with design and construction plans, specs, estimate of costs, and permits. North State Street, that's still waiting DOT review. I expect maybe in the next couple weeks we'll hear back from them on that. We have received the water main permit though, so we're good there. Pedestrian bridge, we're just awaiting direction from the city on the ITEP grant. Geneseo Lake, we received the DNR hydraulic study. We're just gonna evaluate the information before completing a hydraulic report for that. The Geneseo Well 33, property corners have been set and the plat completed, and we're still waiting the EPA comments for that. As far as the Geneseo water systems analysis, we requested a little bit more information from the city. I expect to get that in the next couple of days, so then we can finalize the model for the city and move towards the next step on that. We did submit a letter of application that was due March 31st for the EPA requested funding loan. So any questions?
I will say too, we did, for the new well 33, we did close on that property, which was a big hurdle, last week. So.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next on the agenda would be public comments related to agenda items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. Ann? No?
Come on, man, it's your time to shine.
Rick? Anyway? Yeah, Craig, I'd love it. Well, I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah. Pretty neat, huh? The city of Geneseo Electric Department. Yeah. The city of Geneseo put those lights up. Electric utility.
Do we buy them or do we have them stored?
We did. We bought them. We purchased them and then, the city electrician put them up for us here. Yep, they were, when the room remodel was done, there were two giant speakers there, you may remember.
The
that
audio
were out of
system
service.
remodel. The audio system remodel.
But there were some giant holes in those areas. So rather than redoing all the woodwork, we decided a couple light fixtures might be nice.
Yep, very nice.
Ouch.
Ouch.
All right, moving on the agenda, the mayor's comments. I have none at this time. How about city council comments? Craig, you had your chance. Anyone else?
One comment, Mayor,
Yeah.
just the Saturday before Easter, we had the Easter egg drop in City Park. A shout out to to Chief Casey and the police department. The crowd was overwhelming if you were there, but in the melee, in a positive sense, melee, a lot of younger children got separated from their parents, and Chief Casey and the police department did an outstanding job of reuniting people kind of on the fly, coming up with a system to address that and allay the fears of a lot of concerned parents. So just want to give a shout out. Was able to kind of see them do that in real time firsthand, and it was pretty impressive.
Was there a lot of people there? wasn't there.
Yeah.
Was it?
There was a lot of people there. There
Is
had
it-
to be thousands.
Is
I
it
would say.
City Park, right?
Correct. It was more than the resources.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Cool.
Caught everybody off guard.
Well, I've been up to the Easter egg hunts up there in the park for years with my grandkids. Nothing compared to this one. This one, there were license plates from out of state. There was just people everywhere. And I loved it, but I'm just like, wow.
The VFW put the egg drop on. Yep.
The helicopter went over well. They were a little bit late, but it was a helicopter dropped a bunch of eggs.
Okay, moving on to city administrator comments. Brandon.
Okay, a couple quick reminders, spring cleanup, as Zach mentioned, garage sale weekend, and then we transition into spring cleanup intentionally. That will be May 6th through the 9th. We did launch the event on the city website, Facebook page for the July 4th Thrill on the Hill event. That is, I know Craig reached out about the date too. Did put that event out there. It's actually on July 4th this year, which is a Thursday. Yeah. The rain date is Friday, July the 5th. So we have Crater Fireworks will be our fireworks vendor this year. We have 2 musical acts booked, Sushi Roll and a Jason and John Experience. Face painting, hair tinseling, all kinds of fun stuff for the kids. Probably not balloon animals. Tinseling's enough.
Don't you do the balloon animals though? I thought you
I
did that.
have, yeah. But the duties have shifted slightly in the past couple of years, so yeah.
Well,
to
that'll
get-
come under review, part of the evaluation.
I still do the balloons for National Night Out. What else was I going to mention? You threw me off. Sorry. Did want to mention there's no agenda item further with the solar project on tonight's meeting. Adam Simon with Ansel Glink. He's the renewable energy legal counsel with Ansel Glink. He's currently reviewing those contracts. We should have that back probably at the next meeting for further discussion. Make sure those contracts make sense and we can take that back up with the council. Did want to mention quickly, don't want to open up a giant can of worms, but at the next meeting, we have a committee where we've been looking at the mayor's Christmas tree. We're preparing for Christmas already. The current tree has been in bad condition for a number of years. It was struck by lightning. If you go look at it, it's not looking so great. We put together a committee. Zach's on a chamber, a couple of the businesses on State Street, Keith's on the committee, address what we do with this focal point of Christmas in Geneseo moving forward. So we have some options that we'll bring to the council at the next meeting, but just thought I'd prime the pump for that a little bit with you guys tonight. So. Yeah, it's called the mayor's tree, the one special tree that's green and white. That's it.
Hey, are you gonna have signups for the July 4th thing? Like the
Yes.
election donations?
Yep,
Okay.
we'll ask you guys, as usual, to work Stewart and Richmond Hill Drive for donations if you can. Yep.
Okay, moving on the agenda, item number 10 would be Finance Director comments. 10.1, the Treasurer's Report and Capital Assets Report.
All right, I don't have a whole lot to report on it because I'm still waiting on bank statements. So really the only funds that you're gonna see significant changes in are the utility funds, water, sewer, electric. It's still early in the year, so there's not really much to say about them. Any questions? The budget book, again, you're not gonna see a whole lot of changes because without having the statement, I can't do any of the entries, journal entries. But I will entertain any questions on it if you have any. All right. Not on.
It went off. Yeah, it's off now.
All right, next is the capital asset summary. Make it a little bit bigger for Craig. And Martin.
For the electric department, line crew is back on the 7200 project. They're currently on Russell Street in between Palace Row and Park and Orange. We just got done last week converting Palace Row. They'll be working up Russell. They took wire down today, so it's not double circuited anymore. And then we'll move on to Orange Street, replacing multiple poles. I think if you look, there's a bunch of red X's on poles in that area. I believe they have about 8 of them to replace in that area. Once that section is done, we will be moving over to Progress Lane, converting that over, and then working our way back towards the power plant on Exchange. And then once that is done, we will be able to heat up to the transformer at the power plant and install the reclosure, most likely on Ogden Street. The other thing we got going on, the power plant roof project may start next week. The main roof will be replaced. We're waiting on the contractor. They said next week was the start date, but depending on weather, we'll see what happens. And then the LS6 breaker project, all the pieces are finally in. We were waiting for 2 pieces for a potential transformer and the switchgear, and those are in. The guys will install it this week, and we will have that up and running. Any questions? All right.
I do not have any changes on it. The only thing I wanted to update you on was the week of April 22nd, we will be milling and overlaying this parking lot out in front. So it'll be out of commission for 3 or 4 days. If you guys have any questions for me on anything that you want to talk about, go ahead. So, on the new well for the 5th well, I did talk to the EPA about it. I know Tyler didn't know about this, but they had some issues with the permitting taking so long. We had a well 26 that we were applying for abandonment
procedures on, and they had some confusion between us applying for a new well and us trying to abandon a well from 3 years ago. So a lady thought within the next 2 to 3 weeks it'd be completed for sure.
It would
So-
be permitted, Chad?
Yeah, we'll get a permit on it to drill.
Okay.
So, and we did start design and preliminary civil design on the site work for that with IMIG also. So,
You'd be able to go shortly after being permitted.
yeah,
then is what
because
you're-
once when we got it now and everything, we will just, as soon as the EPA okays it, we'll get our two quotes
Great.
from our two well drillers, Broadkey and Albrecht. And we'll go from there. Thank you.
And then with the capital assets, dollar amounts, really the only major change on here was the dump truck has been purchased for water.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report and capital asset reports as submitted.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Kennett. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Roothouse, James,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 11 on the agenda would be the consent agenda.
11.1, approval of previous minutes, regular council, March 12th, 2024 minutes, committee of the whole, March 26th, 2024 minutes. 11.2, approval of farmers market agreement for 2024 and 2025. 11.3, R-24-08, revolving loan fund, Vibrant Health Chiropractic LLC. 11.4, R-24-09, declaration of 2014 PD Ford Explorer as surplus property, and 11.5 omnibus method.
Motion to approve using the omnibus method and to approve items 11.1 through 11.5.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Swanson. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Roothouse, Rothschild,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 13 on the agenda, under administration, 13.1 would be the Bi-State Regional Commission Member Service Update with Brian Schmidt. Welcome.
So yeah, I sent Brandon the member services brochure, but I brought some just for fun. Your hands, but I am your liaison to Bi-State Regional Commission. So wanted to put my face in front of you all and introduce myself. So like I said, my name is Brian Schmid. I work in the planning department, and I work mainly in transportation planning, but we do a lot of other types of planning like park and rec, do grants, writing grants, that type of thing. So some of the services that are part of the dues that are paid by the city to Bi-State include administrative services. So that goes towards the public officials directory for all governments in the greater Bi-State region. So the 5 counties, 3 in Illinois, 2 in Iowa. We do an annual salary survey, and then share those results with our member governments. And then we have website assistance. If you're interested in looking into your website some more, we can assist in any sort of background or anything with that. Some of the transportation planning services that we provide, short and long range planning, as well as non-motorized transportation planning. And that's sort of my field of expertise. Brandon and I have talked about the ITEP application and the recreational trails program application from a number of years ago. So I'm aware of that, and ITEP is coming up this fall. So we're telling our member governments to prepare by getting cost estimates. And then the big thing is to reach out for public comment specifically on this, on whatever project is chosen. That is what the DOT wants to see, and that moves up the competitiveness of grant applications in their eyes. So grant services is one of the things that we work very closely with our member governments on, as it falls under member dues. So there is no cost for our services to help you apply. So once the application is submitted, then it's up to you for administration, unless it's some sort of other larger project where there might be a contract. But so that's a very quick spiel. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
I have a question. What have you done for the city of, what's the Bi-State Commission done for the city of Geneseo recently?
Recently, personally, I did write the RTP grant for the connection to the Hennepin. That was a number of years ago already, but just offhand.
One of the big things that we use our membership for with Bi-State is our mapping updates too. That's kind of a constant one. Anytime we update zoning, you guys approve the zoning map every year. Other maps that we use on our website, they do all that under membership too, so we don't have to outsource that. ITEP's going to be a big one this year, so they can help us. What's that? So that they can help us be more competitive on that grant and actually help us write that and provide their expertise that they do for municipalities all over the region. So that'll be a big one for us coming up here. We just started working on that. IMEG just finished. You guys approved the preliminary engineering on the bridge to make us, had recommended that after the last cycle. Now that we have that, we're going to have them assist us with the rest of it and hopefully make us real competitive this year.
But we are outsourcing if we're paying a membership, correct?
Yes, we don't outsource the maps to other vendors that do that kind of work, I guess is what I meant by that comment.
Yeah, but we're paying the membership for them to do certain things for us, correct?
Well, yeah,
Correct.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm asking.
Resource.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Gee, okay.
So there are a number of services outlined in the brochure.
Yeah, I just didn't understand the whole, the mission to help local governments work together and provide direct service to individual member governments. What does that mean?
Things come up.
Things
So-
come up.
Well, they are. I mean, so we work with all of our member governments. You might be focused solely on Geneseo, but we have the regional view of things can happen in Davenport that might affect experiences, for instance, that would experience that happens in a different member government that we can use to share to help provide some clarity, if that makes sense.
It's a good like networking resource. Like it's a first stop for, I should say, us or Brandon as the administration, as he says, as things come up that may seem at the time unique to us, other communities may have already been down this road and put you ahead of the game in that investigation on where to go next, on what to do. And a lot of times you can resolve things faster by simply having that resource rather than going out and doing going through a bunch of other hurdles that other communities have already done.
So I'll take the grant application, for instance, that we've been successful and unsuccessful numerous times. So we know what types of things have been successful, and we've contacted the DOT to figure out how applications for other member governments could have been more competitive. So we'll take that knowledge and apply it to the city of Geneseo.
So how many grants have you done for the city of Geneseo that have been successful?
Me, I've
Recently.
done one. That was 2016, I want to say.
Okay.
So that's not the main service we use.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The question would be how do you react?
Well, that's what I mean. We're paying a membership to use them. Are we using them? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah. One of the other things.
Because if we're not using them, I mean, I don't wanna-
One of the
go
other
down that road,
things that, another example I can give you right now is nothing, just been discussed casually with council, but we talked about the future grant possibility. Something we would want to try to do with grant money is the Hennepin Canal. And we've talked about crossings at Lodge Park or other areas. Reached out to Brian the other day and Denise for some quick information about starting the process to look at what that might look like as far as bike path grants that are coming up in future years, and nothing that we have in front of the council right now, but trying to plan for the future of, that's a popular thing amongst a number of council members have brought that up in the past. Something we'd like to look at in the future. So helping us to start to explore that again. as
I,
well.
I understand that. I'm just trying to justify the cost, I guess, is
Sure.
what I'm saying.
Sure.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
So if it's,
Yeah, so I use them every year for our, it's called a fast map. We have to turn into the Census Bureau. Any annexations gotta go on there. They have our map. They do, I just say, here's our annexations. They submit it, do everything for us, and that, I do it every year with them. They also just recently, within the last couple of years, created that interactive zoning map that's on our website, which is an absolutely awesome tool. If anybody's looking to come to town, they can go on our website, click on any site. It takes them right to our zoning ordinance and explains what R2 is or enterprise zone, whatever, it all takes you all right to them.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a key one that has helped Rick and I. We've had a couple of instances where people call up and came in the same or next day, bringing business ideas or want to bring a business to Geneseo. And that tool has allowed us to quickly click through these things, not have to dig out maps and things like that. And is a really nice tool to be able to use on there.
And there are more possibilities with GIS Online. When I learned GIS 10, 15 years ago, none of this was possible. So our GIS staff are, they have knowledge and expertise in that area. So they can create these online maps, interactive maps, where you click on a parcel and information comes up.
Craig, were there any left over?
yeah,
I was thinking you might get one there.
Huh?
Might get one there.
so do you do anything with cities that do composting or anything like that? Sorry.
Composting.
Yeah.
We staff the Rock Island County Waste Management Agency, which isn't exactly composting, but
It's not.
sorry,
It's not.
right, it's not. But it is in that waste management type of thing area. So that is something, if there's interest in the city, we can do some research for you and get back to you.
Okay.
So it's basically up to us about
So it's basically up to us to utilize them, not them come to us and say, well, how can we help you, really? It's up to us for the most part. They're available to do whatever service that we ask for.
Yeah, if there's a topic of interest, please feel free to reach out. You have my information. We'd be glad to do some research and find a good path forward for y'all.
It would be interesting, and to Bob's point, is there a way that we could be more proactive partnership where if you hear of something and you're like, hey, that would be great for Geneseo, for you to reach out to Brandon and that'd just be kind of cool to take it to that next level of
Well, I will say,
and you may do that already.
From being copied, I am. That's why it's orange right in front of me here. From being copied in an awful lot of the email exchanges as one of the community mayors, I will say that the information exchange between the communities through Bi-State and from Bi-State down to the communities is extensive. So I can speak for that.
Some of the larger picture issues concerning transportation.
Yeah.
I hate to bring this up, but passenger rail, we talk about it every legislative opportunity we get. The US DOT is aware of the situation at this point. So the ball's not in our court, but we're trying to make enough noise to where it'll start to roll again.
When?
I can't tell you. I'm sorry.
But
Go ahead.
But that is an important part because it's the they send the information up, but then we get that information back from them in an efficient manner, whereas myself or Brandon as the administration of this community would maybe have to go seeking that out to get an answer. They're quick to bring it right back down.
I'm fine with that. Once again, I have no problem with what they're doing. I just want to make sure we're utilizing it and spending the money that we're paying them to do that. And if we're not using them, I don't know what else I don't know what we're doing with it then. That's all I'm bringing up. I just want to make sure that the money that we're spending is being used.
And I believe myself, Brandon, and the councils, some of them are trying to assure that we are.
You said
Pardon?
You just haven't told me how.
Well, I mean, we could have a different discussion at a later date into this topic a little deeper if you'd like, but I think I think staff have cited plenty of examples that how it's instrumental in what they do on a daily basis, from a resource to writing grants that they've struck out on these grants. They have that experience. We're getting the recommendation. They're producing maps for the RIC, for the city.
Yeah, if we
Yeah, I
have,
understand the maps. I
These
just
are
haven't heard anything
these are
else.
services we would seek out elsewhere anyways. It seems like so often we're quick to criticize a service, just like with the solar discussion last week. The guy was very clear in saying that, and Eric even said, could we do this on our own? Yep. But we're going to go out and hire 3/4 of what these people are doing anyways, because we are not staffed to properly do some of these things.
I understand it's my job to make sure the money's spent properly. Because that's what I'm held responsible for. So if I bring something up, I've got to show some merit to it. You've brought some merit that I did not know. So I'm good with that. But don't come up and say, don't question if I ask, because if I ask, I'm asking for a reason. I'm not asking just to argue. I don't sit here just to argue.
Then I mistook when mistaked your position when you're like, because I felt like the staff had given plenty of examples about how they are a good resource for the city. So I was taken back when the response was,
I have a lot of responses. Some are good, some aren't. So
Well, I know, but I don't think that's necessarily fair to the representative from Bi-State who's left feeling like that, and the staff, when now all of a sudden they're questioning whether or not you feel as though they're properly utilizing the service or not, is all I'm saying.
That was my point. Just what you just said.
I mean, if we need to direct the staff, can we have a different discussion about this at a different time? Can we have a list of the examples we've used in the last 10 years or something of that nature? That's fair direction to the staff, but I don't want them walking away going, is Craig mad, or is he upset or not upset, or where are we? That's all I'm asking. I think we need to give proper direction for what it is we want.
I agree, but I didn't know that we were paying them to be part of a commission, just like the chamber, just like Henry County Tourism, just like all that stuff. If we're going to give them tax dollars, I would expect something in return. Rick answered my question that I didn't understand that they're making the maps for us. There's some utilization to it, so I'm okay. I'm also correct. I'm also agree with Bob that maybe we need to utilize them more, knowing that we're paying them, but I did not know that. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Okay.
I had one question on the rail, not to switch gears, but are you guys like part of the High Speed Rail Commission on the Department of Transportation, or do you just have information on that? Or-
Illinois DOT has been pretty cagey.
Okay.
We're on their lists. Iowa it has a more active commission.
Okay.
There's a lot less going on in Iowa, but the Illinois DOT, because they're in negotiations, they can't really share a whole lot with us. And that's part of our issue is we're in charge of the regional long range plan. When we don't have enough information to bring into the long range plan, that's where we can't really answer the questions that are our charge. So
Okay. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, but I was on council a long time ago, and we had a presentation back, like even Obama era, about the money, and then it came back, I think again like 2017, and there's kind of a big, and then it kind of died out again. So I was just in general, does it feel like momentum's coming back towards trying to do this, or is it still kind of?
Yeah, I think the issue is with the negotiations with Iowa Interstate. They're asking for X amount of money. DOT says that that's not what it's going to cost. So that's as much.
That stalemate alone has been the hang up now for such a long period of time.
Years.
And it just
years at
doesn't,
this point.
it doesn't seem like
Unfortunately.
either side's willing to move on the issue.
There has been discussion about reaching out to it's the Federal Rail Administration to resolve the conflict and basically act as arbiters. Arbitrators. So I don't know. That is a very unusual step to take. Rare, I should say. Rarely does it get to that point. but they've been in negotiations for 10 or so years, at least, probably,
Yeah. yeah.
somewhere.
So how long do they go before they do?
I'm not
I mean,
sure.
how long do you, this could go on, this is going forever and ever and
Well, I
ever.
mean, I don't have the information right in front of me, so I'm not speaking with specifics, but some of the monies have, I don't want to say deadlines on them, but
Sunsets.
yes.
And they've
they're-
gotten extended
Yeah,
a few times.
so if they're extended, then that keeps certain portions of the project that are funded with different monies alive, but in the event that those are to, just allowed to elapse, I guess, then it could be a whole different conversation, but there still is life to the proposed project at this time.
Thank you.
Anything else? Brandon?
No, that's it. One other example that I just thought of is Bi-State is organizing, and to piggyback on the rail conversation, actually next Monday, myself and other people in my role, or other communities in Henry County, they organize a trip down to Springfield where we meet with all of our state representatives that represent this area to talk about all these issues and at least let them know what's important to us down there. And that's on the list along with the Hennepin Canal and other things. So they organize that for us, which is nice to coordinate everybody in the county. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, item 13.2 would be the conditional use permit approval for 225 East Park.
All right, so the rest of tonight, we have items for the council that have been moved forward for council consideration and approval by the Plan and Zoning Commissions in Geneseo here. This first one, 225 East Park, otherwise known as the Stackhouse Moore Funeral Home. This is a motion to approve a conditional use permit for the facility to be used as a two-family duplex. You may remember this property being in front of council to be proposed to be rezoned to a business. That did not pass. Rick and I have looked at this and think this is a great proposal. It's kind of what we talked about with you guys that would be the ideal scenario for this property. This is a large historic home. The Snyders, who have submitted the application, are proposing to remodel the property back into a single family home and keep one of the apartments that's in it right now. They can do that with a conditional use permit in R2. So we recommended to the Plan Commission, and they motion for the council to consider a conditional use permit. They originally applied to rezone from R2 to R3, which really isn't necessary. We explained to everybody in the plan meeting that council has already kind of set the precedent that we don't rezone for the future or marketability of a property. The conditional use permit gives them exactly what they submitted plans for. Single family home with one apartment, two separate living quarters. That's what this is.
I'll make a motion to approve a conditional use permit in R2 for 225 East Park Street, allowing for the property to be used as a two-family duplex dwelling.
Second.
Motion by Barnhart, second by Arnold. Roll call.
James? Kennett?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Barnhart?
Yes.
Roothouse? Rothschild?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number
13.3.
Yeah, hold on, I lost things here. 13.3, the facade improvement grant for GWK Pegasus.
It's the facade improvement grant application submitted by GWK Pegasus, Katie Kasunas and Company for facade improvement grant. This is under the downtown TIF program. This is for replacement and some tuck pointing of the awning at Pegasus that was destroyed in the January snowstorm. This is in the spirit of the program. The facade improvement program grants 50% up to $10,000 of facade improvements on State Street in the downtown historic district. So we believe this is a good proposal, was moved forward for council approval by the Plan Commission.
Motion to approve the variant, I'm sorry, the I cannot speak, improvement grant for GWK Pegasus up to $9,235.53.
Motion by Roothouse, second by James. Roll call.
Swanson,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Roothouse,
Yes.
Yes.
Rothschild, Barnhart,
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. 13.4, a variance application for burn permit for 811 South Stewart Street.
Application by Bryn Miller, who lives in on about 20 acres, 17.67 is zoned as agriculture property off of Stewart Street. So our code does require a zoning variance for burning in ag. So he submitted this application to be considered by the zoning board. They did that last Monday. He does have the 17.67 acres is of open farm ground right now. He has a pile sitting there. You may have seen it if you've driven down Stewart recently. He's just cleaning up trees, wants to burn them off. Did a really nice presentation to the zoning board on this matter. With this approval tonight, he will be authorized to light that pile up. He will be notifying the PD, Mills, and the fire department on a day that's appropriate with wind conditions.
Does he have neighbors or anything like that?
He does. Because with his home, it's about 20 acres in total. There's nobody right on top of him. But part of this process and why this process is in place is everybody, what is it, Rick, within 250 feet. So there were a number of neighbors that got letters sent to their homes notifying them of this topic. They're not here tonight. Nobody showed up for the original zoning board meeting with concerns either.
Is this on the way up to Richmond Hill?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're heading south, it's to the right, the big farm field there.
Plenty of room.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the variance application for 811 South Stewart to conduct a burn on the A zoned land.
Motion by Arnold,
I'll second.
second by Barnhart. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Roothouse, James,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. 13.5, the conditional use permit in R2 Hammond Henry Hospital.
All right, this is a plan by Hammond Henry to construct a 76 by 40 building along with an accessory parking lot on what's known as 203 and 204 Melvin Lane. They own these two parcels of ground currently. This, if you haven't looked up where this is just north of their main campus parking lot right now. They own these lots. This went to Plan Commission. Basically, the structure that they're proposing will have, you can see the picture Jamie has up, 2 small apartments in it on the lower level there, and then it has a garage bay in the rest of the structure. They are doing the 2 residential units for traveling nurses or doctors that come to the hospital that can't find housing in Geneseo on a temporary basis, that kind of thing, or maybe it's a temporary stay. So that's an issue they've been trying to solve for a while, and this will help with that. The garage area will house some of their vehicles. The proposal is to come off of their private property, off of the current parking lot, with no access to Melvin Lane. At the Plan Commission meeting, there was one neighbor that came in that owns a couple properties there. The hospital, even before coming to Plan Commission, organized a neighborhood meeting where they met with all the neighbors on Melvin Lane to discuss their plans for this project, which was really nice that they did that. It was vetted through the Plan Commission. And it comes to council tonight. This would be a conditional use in the current zone in R2. Under the R2 zoning, conditional use can be granted for a healthcare facility for an accessory building, which they're in R2 right now. All of their facilities are, along with accessory parking. So it would be a conditional use for those uses. Do you have anything else to add, Rick? Is that? Yeah. Yeah.
Motion to approve a conditional use permit for Hammond Henry Hospital to construct a hospital accessory building and parking lot as recommended by the planning commission on the lots commonly known as 204 and 203 Melvin Lane in Geneseo, with all ingress egress points coming from Hammond Henry Hospital's current parking lot to the south of the proposed development.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by James. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Roothouse,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 14 would be the payment of city and utility bills.
Motion to approve the city bills is presented. She's
Motion
not
by-
here.
Motion by Arnold, second by Roothouse. Roll call.
Roothouse.
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 15 would be public comment related to all other items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes during public comment. There can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. Ann, nothing? Just one night you're gonna have something.
Okay. And there'll probably be more time.
Okay, motion, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Rothschild, second by Swanson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.